Okay, let's get started. I am so sorry for the technical difficulties, but I am happy that you stuck it through and you are here. So let me get started a little bit by just telling you who I am and kind of what I'm doing, and then I'll jump into a little presentation and take you through a process that helped me really get clarity and focus in my life. So my name is Stephanie Nickolich. I am the CEO and founder of Accessory Fanatic. Accessory Fanatic is an online fashion jewelry and accessory company, and we focus on empowering women through fashion and giving them the tools that they need to create the level of success that they desire and deserve in their lives. And if you'd like to know more about this, I would love to tell you that. And we have a program that we recently launched about 2 months ago. It's called the Stylist Program. And this is an earn on your terms type of program that allows women to create their own success stories, to define the level of success that they desire, and to do so on their terms, be their own boss, and have a fun, flexible career. So we have opportunities in the Stylist Program that are part-time, full-time, and what I like to call big time, depending on really how you want to incorporate the brand in your life and what you're looking to achieve. And so let me go to my presentation here. Give me 1 second. Because now everything on my page went away. Okay. I went through the whole presentation and I was by myself. But anyway, I guess practice. So I like to start off by saying, I work with a lot of women, and I recently just actually spoke on Sunday at a Pure Body Love retreat in Pompano Beach in Florida. I'm located in Florida. And what I find so often is that women especially, we have these voices in our head. We're programmed with these voices that tell us we're not good enough, we're not young enough, we're not old enough, we're not skinny enough, we're not smart enough, whatever enough. And our brains are programmed that way because of society and what we go through. And our whole life, we're really told no. And society focuses on sometimes what we're not instead of what we are. And in fact, we are enough. All of us, the men, the women on the call, we all are enough. And you need to step into your power and really know that, because that is going to be able to help you create the level of success in your life that you desire. And you need to do so with confidence. And I think it's really important that we surround ourselves by people that are able to lift us higher. I actually took the women at the conference through a short exercise that I recommend that you do at home. And you write down those negative emotions that we have, maybe the ones you had today or over the last week, or the ones that maybe repeat themselves in your head. And you write them down on a piece of paper, different pieces of paper actually. And you look at them and then you throw them out. And you get rid of them because they're not going to serve you today, and they're not going to serve you, your greatest purpose in life in general. And so I had the ladies go around the table and really write positive affirmations about the other women at the table. And it was a really good exercise, and it was really powerful. And I actually invite you to go to YouTube on your free time and watch a video that I took them through. It's about a 6-minute video, and it's really impactful. And what it is, you can search for it in YouTube. It's called Dove Beauty Sketches. I believe that's how you pull it up. And basically what it is a sketch artist. It's a man who's a sketch artist. And he doesn't see the women that he's sketching, but he has the women describe themselves to him. What does their hair look like? What does their skin look like? One woman said she had crow's feet. She had bags under her eyes. Her skin she said her skin was getting a little wrinkled, I believe. And so he sketches this image of this woman based on how she's describing herself. And then he has women that have just met her for about an hour and spent time with her describe her separately in another sketch. And what happens is when you look at the two sketches, you see that the way that the world actually perceives her is much prettier, much younger, and much more attractive, much happier than the way she perceives herself. And so that's really powerful because I think that sometimes we don't claim our worth. And if the woman that was in those videos, if she was operating her life and her career, her relationships, as the way the world was perceiving her, she would have a lot more success, happiness, and love in her life. So I invite you to take a look at that video when your time permits. And I'm going to take you through, I want to start off by saying one thing, that nothing makes a woman more beautiful, or a man, than the belief that he or she is beautiful. And that's a really powerful statement, because I sometimes don't think we give ourselves enough credit. So I want you to know that you are beautiful, and I will tell you every day if you can't tell yourself, so keep hanging out with me. So let me go to the process that took me to where I am today and allowed me to really start living the life with passion and purpose and clarity and focus and motivation every day to continue to do and to love what I'm doing. And so the first step in my process is to dream big. And I mean big, really, really big, bigger, 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 bigger. And because it's your dream and you get to decide what you want for your life. And sometimes I say that my dreams are so big that they scare most people. But for me, it's a constant motivation. I like to know what the end result looks like. I like to live my life as though I'm living in the outcome. It's a much happier place to be, right? And so I suggest that you go ahead and write down your dreams. I think it's a really good exercise to actually have them on paper. I use Evernote to stay really organized, and I have them in my daily activities. So I can look at my dreams, my goals. I can look at everything every day so that it's in front of my face every day so that I know where I'm headed. And because I truly believe that what you conceive, you can achieve. So I recommend that you start by writing down your dreams. And I'd like to tell you a quick little story about my life. So when I started Accessory Fanatic, which was just a couple months shy of 2 years ago, actually the same day that my business became a business, I lost my father. And I don't believe in coincidence, but for me, it was a very pivotal and meaningful moment in my life because I lost my best friend, my biggest supporter, and then I was going down this journey of starting this business. And so it's been very powerful for me because I definitely feel that I have a really amazing guardian angel, and he's helped me through this. But I say that because there's going to be things that come up throughout life that maybe throw us a curveball that we're not prepared to deal with. But that in turn, I like to say that these things, they don't happen to us, they happen for us. And although sometimes you don't understand at the time why something like that happened, I mean, how could there be any good in the fact that I lost my father? But when I look at it now, I do have somebody that's constantly putting great energy into what I'm doing. And he's here with me all the time, and he's watching my business, and he's proud. And I'm happy to say that. I miss him every day, obviously, but I have pieces of me that I carry forward that I like to thank him for. And I also like to say that because the dreaming big part, I think, has a lot to do with how I grew up. And my family never prohibited me from dreaming. I was that crazy little kid that was running around with all these creative ideas. And, I opened a museum in my basement at one time, and I was serious. I was monetizing that. I was charging to get in. I was really serious. And my family never told me, what are you doing? That's stupid. No, you can't do that. And so I think it's really important to be surrounded by those people that aren't going to put you down for what your dreams are. I know I never will. I'm like, women always say to me, oh, I'd love to do this, but I can't. I'm like, why not? I think there's a will, there's a way. And so the next step in the journey for me was I had to figure out what my passions were. And I know this seems like it should be pretty easy, right? But when I started Accessory Fanatic, I didn't really know why I was doing it. I really didn't know what I was getting myself into at all. And the first year in business, I was working a lot. And company, and that's not why I started the business in the first place. So I had to get really clear at the end of that year about what was I doing, why was I doing this, and what was going to continue to keep me going every day, because passion is what fuels you. And when you figure that out, you'll never stop a day in your life. And for me, it's not really work, because I love so much what I'm doing. So I don't mind putting all the hours in now, because I have that passion every day that continues to feed me and fuel me. And so for me, what I realized was that I was passionate about women's causes, and just everything women. I really believe that we can take over the world. And also helping people, because it gives me an amazing feeling to help people. Fashion and family, travel, and socializing. You know, the thing you used to get in trouble for when I was in, at least for me, when I was young, when I was in school. And now this is something that I can incorporate in my business. How wonderful is that, right? So when I got really clear about my passions, I was able to create the stylist program. It was like a light bulb came on. It made perfect sense. I incorporated my core beliefs, what I was passionate about, and where I saw the company going, my dream and my vision. And the stylist program came to fruition. And now we have currently 17 women on our team as stylists, and every day we're growing that. So it's quite amazing. And so the next step in the process for me was to determine my why. Why am I doing this? Why am I working 16 hours a day? What is that? What does that look like? And I challenge you to take a look at that in your life too. And it's really a good exercise to always write these things down so that it's a constant reminder. Put them on your refrigerator, put them next to your nightstand, put them in your notebook that you look at every day. I have them in my phone notepad, and like I said, I have them in Evernote. So it's in my daily activities. Every day I know why I continue to do this. And for me, my why was my family. When I lost my father, I was able to, because I had started my business, I was able to spend 47 days in New York with my family. And it was really crucial in the healing process for me. I was allowed to reconnect. I allowed myself, really, to reconnect with my brother and become so close over something that, you know, maybe we couldn't control and maybe wasn't such a good thing. But we turned it around and we were able to reconnect and become really close and grow our relationship. And so my why is my family. And my why is that in 3 to 5 years, that I can retire my mother and my stepfather. And I want to pay for their house. And I want to have them stop worrying, because maybe they have jobs that they're not currently so happy with. And I believe that everybody has a chance in life to be happy. So that's my why. My why is also that I want to leave a legacy for Accessory Fanatic, that we're the company that's known for creating the most female millionaires in the United States. That's my why. And that's what continues to keep me going every day in this business. Because like I said, things happen and hurdles happen, but it's okay. When you have that and you know that and you're living in your passion and you're living life with purpose, the motivation to continue to go is just natural. And so the next step is, what are your goals? What does that look like? And what I recommend doing, because sometimes we have goals so big, we just can't wrap our hands around how we're going to get to accomplishing those goals. And so the best way for me to look at goals is to start with 1 year from now and look at where you want your life to be in a year from now. And then take small steps backwards. So look at 11 months, 10 months, 9 months, 8 months, 7 months, 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, all the way back to today. Because there's small steps today that you can take to accomplishing the goals that you want to in a year. So that from a year from now, you're actually sitting in that place. Imagine what that would feel like. Look at your life as if you're already there. And you'll get that feeling and that emotion that it's associated with accomplishing those goals. And it feels so amazing. And it feels like a weight is lifted off your shoulders. And when you start to operate your life in the place of the outcome, everything in the meantime becomes so much easier and so much more natural. And so, like I said, it's really important to break those goals down into small actionable steps so that it's not an overwhelming thing to look at. Because if I looked at my goals, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get there? But when you go backwards and then it gets you to the point where you are today, There's things that I know I can do today that I'm doing every day in order to accomplish those goals. And so, do you want to know what my to have success, to have happiness, to have content, to have clarity, to have focus in life? This is a big one for me. You can have it all, and you don't have to be it all. And you don't have to do it all either. And that's really, really important, because once you realize what your strengths are and what you're really passionate about, and you start doing those things only, and you form a community around you of other women or men that can help you accomplish the other things that you're maybe not so good at. You can form that community, and you can enrich each other's lives, and you can enrich your own life, and you can continue to grow exponentially. I like to call it collaborate, because I believe when we collaborate and work together, because we all have unique gifts and talents that we can offer the world. And so that goes back to focusing on what we're good at and maybe not what we're not good at, right? When we start focusing our life on what we're good at, we get more of that. And it feels really good. And we're not frustrated. I recently had a situation where I'm using a contact management software called Infusionsoft. And for me, it's not like a downloading. It's like I'm constantly battling this feeling that this just doesn't feel right. And that's okay, because I'm not good at that and I don't have to be. So I'm letting someone else manage that before I completely quit using the software. That's besides the point. And that's just a point of reference for you. So what things in your life are you doing that are not serving your highest purpose or your highest good? Because those are the things that are keeping you stuck in this place. And I challenge you to try to give those things up today to people in your life that can maybe help you out with those things. Take that off your plate and start living life with true passion and purpose, doing the things that will serve you the highest. And so I want to give you a couple statistics that I like to point out about women in business, because I believe we are headed in the right direction, and we're only going to continue to grow and flourish. And it's really important that we embrace women that are like-minded like us, and the idea of community, and the fact that we're not here to compete, we're here to help one another. And so currently in the United States, there are 10.6 million women-owned businesses. And in 2013 alone, 21% more women aged 25 to 34-year-old women are more likely to be college graduates. We currently make up 50% of the population. Another statistic that's really powerful to me is that in 2013, 66 million women were corporately employed, and 22 million of those women left their corporate job. Now, I'm not sure the exact number, but it's either 86 or 89% of those women went on to do other things. And that's powerful. And that shows that women are not accepting those jobs where they're not serving their highest good. They're not sitting in jobs that are paying them $10 an hour. We're claiming our worth. We're realizing we're worth more. We're realizing there's more to life than a 9-to-5 job. There's more to life than a boss that clocks your lunch. I used to have that life. Now I don't have that life anymore. And it's like a weight is lifted off my shoulders completely. And then the last step really in the process, and this is a big one, is to step into faith. Because when you step into faith and you start operating your life in a place of faith and not in fear, things start to look a whole lot better. And I know it's really hard and life is challenging, and sometimes it takes us, and we're wired that way. When change doesn't necessarily feel good, we go into a place of fear and we get stuck and we get paralyzed. But that's never going to help our lives. So when you operate out of a place of faith, and when you're doing what you love and what you're truly passionate about, everything always does fall into place. And things start falling into your life that you never even imagined, just because you operated out of a place of having faith and not fear. Fear is paralyzing and it keeps us stuck. It's not going to do anything for our lives at all. So I really challenge you to try to leave that, let that go. Maybe write down those fears and then throw them out. And so I want to give you the definition of faith, just so you know. It's complete trust or confidence in something or someone. And so I want to invite you to, I'll send you an email, everybody that was on this webinar. Thank you so much for being here, first of all. I hope you got some stuff out of it. And we're going to further this process. And I'm launching a 8-week Style Your Life boot camp for those that would like to really start living their life with their fullest potential. That would like possibly more vacation days. I mean, who here would like more vacation days, right? That dreads Mondays, because Monday is actually my favorite day of the week. I know that sounds crazy. For most people, well, I used to dread Mondays too, so I completely understand. But now that I have my own business, Mondays are my most productive day, and it sets the tone for the rest of the week. And it feels amazing because I always get so much knocked out on Monday. So it's my favorite day of the week. And I invite you to start loving Mondays with me, because it's a pretty good feeling to wake up every Monday and just have so much energy and so much motivation to continue to go forward. This program is for those that feel like they're not living life in their true passion, and that want to explore what that looks like, that would potentially like to spend some more time with their families, maybe want to be able to get their kids off the bus at 3 o'clock every day, or whatever makes you happy. Would possibly like to make more money. Who wants to make more money, right? We all do. That's feeling stuck, that feels overwhelmed, that lacks clarity, focus. So I invite you to ask yourself, are you motivated and determined to do what it takes to achieve excellence in life? And are you brave enough to take the steps that you need to today to change your life? What is that life going to look like when you start operating your life in that place? Are you going to be happier? Are you going to have more clarity? Are you going to remove any fears associated with the things that you're doing because you know you're truly living your life with passion and purpose? What exactly does that look like? And our Style Your Life Bootcamp is going to cover all of that and actually so much more. It's going to be a transformational journey that we're going to take together over 8 weeks, and we'll have built-in accountability. We're going to do it in a group. So you're not going to become overwhelmed, because you're going to have a place where you can talk about what's going on, and a place that we can help you through that. Because there's all things in life that we experience that sometimes set us back or hold us back. And that's why it's really important to be connected with a group of people that are going to help you break through those barriers and get to really where you want to go and start living life with your passion and purpose. And so the last thing that I really want to say is that I think we can all agree on this. We have one chance to do this thing called life. So why not do it with love, with brilliance, with excellence, with happiness, with trust, with integrity, with love. Did I say that? If not, there's a lot of love. With motivation, with determination, with aspiration, with inspiration. And I'm sure I missed a couple. But who doesn't want to start operating their lives that way? I know there's probably a feeling of emotion attached to that when I say that to you. And if it feels good, it's because you probably should be doing it. It feels bad, actually, if there's pain associated with it. It's because you need to get in a place where you can claim that and turn that around into power. I am here because I believe in you, and I believe that we all have everything that we need inside of us to be living and operating life in our truest potential. So I want to thank you so much for being here with me today.